Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am so excited because we're going to be testing out two new eyeshadow palettes from Oden's Cosmetics that just got revealed. So they are releasing their Stone and Rock palette, which is a stunning, I know you guys are going to go crazy for this, a stunning green color story. Like, I feel like it's the perfect mixture of like color and neutrals, and everything in it just looks so beautiful. And then they're also releasing their Jewels and Gem palette. This one I feel like is very me. It's a beautiful, more cool toned color story. There's some pops of blue, some purple, but again, all of the shimmers and the texture just looks delicious. I'm not sure the exact release date right now at this moment as I'm filming, but I will make sure to leave that information in the description box. And I also do have an affiliate code with Oden's Eye, so if you're interested in shopping either of these palettes or both of them, you can definitely use my code AMYLOVES to save a little bit of money, and I also make a commission. So thank you in advance for your support. I always appreciate when y'all use my codes, but let's just go ahead and jump on in. We're gonna swatch everything. We're gonna do an eye look with each palette, and at the end of the video, I'll let you know my first impression thoughts. So let's start off by swatching the Jewels and Gem palette. So the very first shade is Ecstasy. It's just a really soft kind of pastel purple. We have Elatedness. Didn't even know that was a word. You learn something new every day. It's not just a makeup video. So this is a like sparkly kind of like white with a little bit of a pinky tint to it. I feel like it looked a little bit more intense in the palette than it looks on my finger, but it is beautiful. We have Elation, which is such a pretty like rosewood brown. I love colors like that. Okay, so sparkly. The mattes are very soft. Next we have the shade Exhilaration, which looks like it's at least a duochrome. It has a purple and a green shift. Yeah, it's super pretty, definitely a little bit more on the grungy side. We have Heaven, which is a really beautiful kind of like gray purple. It actually reminds me of one of my favorite mattes in the Club Nebula palette. I think it's called like Rockwell or something like that. And then next we have High, which is so beautiful. It reminds me of one of my favorite shades in the Natasha Denona Gold palette. It reminds me of Lime Chrome because it has that like really stunning orangey base and just like a super shifty greeny gold. So pretty. Next we have the shade Intoxication, which is a really deep purple. Super, super pretty. We've got Paradise, which is a smoky kind of blue. Then we have Rapture, which is a very pigmented blue matte. I was not expecting it to be that pigmented. Like, that looks super intense. Here we go. I feel like this palette is actually a little bit more smoky than I thought it was just originally looking at it. And next we have Rhapsody, which is a super intense like purple, blue, pink multi-chrome. Like, it has like this pinky warm base and then it has a bluey silver purple shift. So cute, so intense. And then next we have Seventh Heaven. Oh my goodness. Okay. So that is like a kind of like khaki green matte. I'm laughing at the name because I grew up watching Seventh Heaven and I thought like everything in that show was so normal. I've seen some scenes recently on TikTok and it's just an off the wall show. I don't understand. But next we have the shade Swoon, which is another stunning shade. It looks like an iridescent multi-chrome. It's got a shift of yellow, gold, green. Ooh, I hope you guys can actually see that. I added more lights. I kind of moved things around. I felt like you guys were not able to see multi-chromes in my lighting, so I feel like you can see it a little bit better now, and that is stunning. All right, lastly, we have the shade Transition, which is a beautiful peacock turquoise. That's a shade, right? And then we have Gorgeousness, which is another stunning shimmer. This one is definitely less intense, less creamy than some of the other ones we've swatched, but it's like a pretty kind of greeny, silvery blue. And then last but not least, we have the shade Sozzle, which is a deep reddy brown. Again, very pigmented. So that is the entire Jewels and Gem palette. I think it is absolutely beautiful. I actually feel like it's brighter on the arm than what I was looking at in the palette. Feels a little unexpected, but like in the cutest way. Okay, now let's swatch Stone and Rock. So first we have Fervor, which is just a matte white. We have Frenzy, which is another sparkly kind of soft shade. This one's just like a white blue sparkle versus the white pink one that was in the previous palette. We have Madness, which looks like such a fun kind of chartreuse, grungy green matte. Ooh. That is a pretty opaque white. Next we have the shade Passion, which is a really intense creamy shimmer. I don't know that I would say it has any shift. It looks like it's just one shade, but it is very metallic. We have Cheer, which is a deep emerald green. Again, reminds me of something from Club Nebula. We have Cheerfulness, which is such a pretty creamy, metallic, like lighter, sagey green. Look how stunning that is. Next we have Gleefulness, which is a yellowy gold. It's definitely a little bit more of a chunky shimmer, like just to the touch, but it is pretty, and I appreciate that they're doing a gold in this palette, which, you know, people put golds with greens all the time, but because it is a little bit more yellowy, it looks different. It adds something different to the color story. I love a good yellow too. And then next we have Jubilance, which is kind of like a mustardy, grungy, yellowy brown. We've got Lightheartedness. So that is another shimmer, just a little bit more of like a brownie bronze shade. Not quite as intense as some of the other ones we've already swatched. Ooh, I missed something right there. Good job, baby. Can't even wash off my arm. See, that's cute. Ooh. Okay, I kind of love this. Like originally, I thought the other palette was gonna be my favorite, but I think this one is. Oh no, I think I missed a shade. I just realized I got out of order. I missed this green right here called Exuberance, which is another really pretty grungy green. That one's a little bit more of an olivey green. And then next we have Dreamland, which is a very, very pigmented kind of gray green, army vibes. And then we have High Spirits, which this one looks like a multi-chrome. It's definitely more of that like super slick kind of shadow. And it's got a purple, a blue, a green shift happening. Last three, we have Elevated, which is a super pigmented, deep, deep brown. We have Splendid, which is kind of like a sparkly black shade. I feel like these always look beautiful in theory, but I never end up reaching for them. And then lastly, we have Passage, which is a matte black. Passage is definitely not quite as like pigmented right to the touch as Elevated, but that is nice if you like to have a black and a brown deepening shade in a palette. They have got you covered here. Look how nice that is. That I'm a little bit speechless. Like, I feel like that is one of the prettiest palettes I've swatched in a long time. Like, all together, just perfection. I cannot wait to put it on my eyes. Alright, so let's do the first look with the Jewels and Gem palette. I already went ahead and primed my eyes with the P. Louise eyeshadow primer. And I think I'm going to start off with this light purple right here called Ecstasy. I'm going to take that on a fluffy brush and throw it through my entire crease. I kind of wanted to go with the greens in this palette as well because they're so pretty. But then I was like, you know what? We're doing two looks. Like, let's try and make them a little bit different. So I think we're going to do a full purple moment and just start buffing that out. I wouldn't be surprised if I love the quality of these because in general, I just don't have issues with Oden's Eyes palettes. I don't want to speak too soon, like obviously we're going to test it out, but just in general, I find their mattes to be super blendable, their shimmers to have like a diverse textures and shifts and finishes, and just like I feel really satisfied with their palettes. Just going in with a little bit more on this side. Such a pretty purple. Let me just grab a slightly smaller blending brush and let's go into this shade right here called Heaven. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that through my entire crease. Just kind of laying the shadow down first. I know it looks a little crazy, just give me a second. I always tend to like blend on the outside recently and then go inwards, but today I was like, you know what? Let's go all out. So just kind of putting that down and then blending just to kind of map out where I want the shadow. But you can see, even though it looked a little bit ridiculous for a second, everything is blending very easily. I'm also going to go back in with my previous brush and just go over that edge. So I'm going to go into an even smaller, tiny little blendy brush, and we're going to go into the deepest purple right here called Intoxication. And I'm just going to use that to add some depth to the outer V. Just kind of putting it right here and just kind of wiggling it into this space. And then whatever is left over on the brush will just kind of fluff out into the rest of the crease. I love these tones of purple. I feel like they're so cute. Like I said, just going back over everything. And from what I can see right now, I'm not getting any fallout. Now let's start on the lower lash line. I'm gonna go into a bit more of Intoxication on a pencil brush and just connect the lower lash line to the outer V. I just feel like for my eye shape, this kind of makes looks for me. Pulls everything together. Okay, and then let's try something different that we haven't used yet. Maybe we can use this shade right here, this purple called Exhilaration on the lower lash line for a little sparkly moment. That's pretty. I'm gonna go into the shade Elatedness and pop that on the inner corner just to get that sparkly pink moment. Ooh, that's pretty. I might even just like take that up into the like inner third of the lid / crease just for a little extra highlight. Okay, I'm gonna use it on my finger too, just to make it more intense. I think I'm gonna go into Rhapsody because it is so pretty. It looks so intense, so shiny. Okay, I'm gonna tap off the excess on my finger just to try and keep this as clean as possible. Oh my goodness, look at that. Like Oden's Eye, I don't know how they're doing it, but they just keep getting better and better. So to finish up this look, I'm going to go into the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. And I'm just going to coat my lashes pretty heavily to go with the intense look. For my cheeks, I did already add some blush, which I think is pretty obvious because I went in with this Patrick Ta blush and She's a Doll. And y'all, this pink is so pigmented. I like barely tapped my brush and it was so intense. I definitely need to figure out how to use that because my first go was not the best, but it is a cute pink highlight. And then I think on top, I'm gonna go into the Too Faced Cheek Popper Blush Highlighter, the Pinker Times Ahead one, because it's so cute. And I kind of did like a little setup in front of me of all the new makeup that I've been testing out. So hopefully I can kind of be better at getting back to y'all, and I have it all set up, so I'm not gonna forget anything. And this was right in front of me, basically. So just adding a little extra pink glow. And then lastly, I'm gonna go into the L'Oreal Beige Eden Gloss Bomb, I think is what these are called. I'm such a bad YouTuber. Glow Paradise, or Glow Paradise, Beige Eden. So this is the finished look with the Jewels and Gem palette, and I love how it turned out. I feel like the mattes blended super easy. The shimmers are stunning. Like I can't stop looking at my lid. I feel like it was just so easy to apply, and Oden's Eye just did an amazing job. I feel like quality, 10 of 10. Color story, I really like. I feel like you could go so many different ways with this palette and still kind of get that like in between. This look, I feel like it's soft and vibrant at the same time. I'm really happy with the palette, so now let's go ahead and test out Stone and Rock. Okay, it is time for a green look. Let's go ahead and start with this shade right here called Madness. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that through my crease. I really want to have a little moment with this, so I think I might even pack it onto the inner corner a little bit. It definitely is like that mixture of being grungy and being chartreuse. It's not as bright as some chartreuses, but it's still doing what it needs to do. So just like I said, kind of just laying that out to start off with, and whatever's left over on the brush, I'm gonna slightly blend upwards. I'm gonna go into this grungy green Exuberance right here, the one we almost didn't swatch. And I'm just gonna focus that on the outer half of this look. Look how pigmented that is. Just kind of tapping it down and then blending inwards. That's blending pretty well. I did go in with a little bit more green than I meant to there, but that's okay. It's a bold look kind of day. All right, I actually might even go in with a little bit of the shade Fervor, really opaque white matte, and I'm just gonna kind of place that underneath my brow bone and then blend down from there. I used to love highlighting with a matte white, like what was it? It was that Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette. The matte white in there was my everything. Add a little bit more depth. I'm gonna go into this shade right here called Cheer. It's a really, really deep green. Add a little bit more depth to the outer V. Just kind of placing it down and then lightly blending it out. So I mostly blended that with the pencil brush, but I am gonna go back into my previous blender brush and just go over that edge a little bit. I do wanna connect to the lower lash line, so I'm gonna take a bit of Cheer on a smaller pencil brush, just on the outer half. So many pretty shades, I don't even know what to do. Maybe let's go into some of Passion next. So cute, I can't help myself. We'll put that on the inner half right here. One of the things I love about Oden's Eye Special Shadows is that they do pick up really well with a brush. I actually just remembered, so I know I put the chartreuse on my inner corner, but I also really want to go into the shade Gleefulness just because it is like that pretty kind of like yellowy gold. I don't know. We'll just go in with a little bit right here. Just over top. Isn't that cute? I'm struggling for real now because I really want to do like Frenzy because it's so pretty and maybe that would look cute on the inner half, but I don't know. And then Cheerfulness is so pretty. I really want to use that. The shade High Spirits, little multi-chrome moment. Okay, I think I'm gonna do Cheerfulness just because I feel like when I was swatching all the shadows, that's one of the ones that like made my heart flutter. So I'm just gonna take that. I mean, it's so shiny. Just pop that on the lid. Just gonna bring that over. Okay, so I feel like this is turning into a very classic grungy green look for me, like something I haven't done in a while, but still feels like a comfort zone. I think it's so pretty. I can't decide which look I like more. I really don't know because I'm honestly happy with both looks, but I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off real quick with some Ilia. I think this is called the Fullest Volume Mascara, if I remember correctly. Just gonna coat my lashes. So I did already add some highlighter to my face. I just went in with the ColourPop Prairie Air blush. Oh, I said highlighter, I meant blush. I went in with this blush. It's just a beautiful pink, very similar color to the Patrick Ta, but definitely much easier to kind of keep soft and light. I might actually go back into the Jewel and Gem palette and just try out the shade Elatedness, that pink highlighty shade on a highlighting brush and see how it looks. I don't know. It's a little bit sparkly, so this could be a bad idea. I mean, is it sparkly? Yes, but it also looks pretty beautiful. It's a sparkly day, who cares? Actually, I definitely got sparkles from this eyeshadow when I was swatching in my coffee. Still gonna drink it though. For this look, I'm just gonna finish with the We Makeup Lip Gloss in the shade 01. It's just a clear gloss. Okay, so here is the finished look with the Stone and Rock palette. I love it. Again, matte's blended beautifully. Shimmers are so intense, so pretty, so sparkly. And I mean, I had like one little flake of fallout, but I feel like overall, no fallout. I'm so happy with these palettes. Honestly, I thought Jewels and Gem was gonna be my favorite, but I think Stone and Rock is. Like all the shimmers in here, all the green options, like you could definitely go more neutral with this, or you could go even more bold. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. So I would love to know which of these two palettes is your favorite, if you're planning on picking up one or the other or both. You know, no judgment over here. Hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.